What if I told you the floods you're seeing all over the world aren't just from rain? Because in many places it didn't rain. Not enough to explain the destruction. So where is all this water coming from? Scientists have found something they don't like to talk about. An ocean deep underground, beneath the Earth's crust, held in rock, under pressure, waiting. And the Bible already told us this would happen. And the fountains of the great deep were broken up. Before it ever rained in Noah's time, the earth broke open. And it's happening again. Floods, earthquakes, tremors. Something beneath our feet is stirring. And the contractions are getting closer. Because just like real labor, when the water breaks, the contractions don't stop. They only get more frequent and more intense. We're witnessing prophetic labor pains, and this time, it's not just a flood. It's a warning. This isn't climate change. This is the days of Noah. Again, and you were meant to be awake. I'm Heather, and this is Lake Files. In the Bible, God promises Noah in Genesis 9:11 through 17 that he will never again destroy the earth with a flood. This promise is part of a covenant symbolized by the rainbow, where God commits to never again wipe out all life with a flood. However, in 2 Peter 3:7 and 10 speaks of a future destruction by fire, indicating a different kind of divine judgment, not a flood. The waters are breaking. What they're not telling you about the global floods. They say the floods are from rain. But what if the real danger is coming from below? There's water everywhere right now. Floods in the streets, floods in the deserts, even places that rarely flood are underwater. But here's the thing. The rainfall doesn't add up. Weather reports don't explain it. And scientists are quietly admitting some of this water isn't coming from the sky. It's coming from below. In the 600th year of Noah's life, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. That's in Genesis 7:11. Notice the order. First, the fountains of the deep broke open. Then the rain came. The flood didn't begin in the clouds. It began underground. Here's what mainstream science won't tell you unless you dig. In 2014, scientists discovered an enormous reservoir of water buried 400 miles beneath the Earth's surface, held in a mineral called ringwoodite. They now believe the Earth holds more water beneath its crust than on the surface. This hidden water can be released by tectonic shifts, earthquakes, deep drilling, or even weaponized vibration. Sound, maybe? In short, if the Earth is shaking, the water can rise. Now pair that with what we're seeing around the world. Sudden flooding in places with no heavy rainfall. Earthquakes followed by mudslides and water surges. Entire towns submerged in hours like something cracked beneath them. Even mainstream media is asking questions. But here's what they won't ask. Is this the return of the fountains of the deep? Jesus told us to watch for birth pains in the end. Earthquakes, distress, of nations, signs in the heavens and the earth. And now, the water is breaking. Let me say that again. The water is breaking. And anyone who's ever been through real labor knows what that means. Not Braxton Hicks, not false alarms. Once the water breaks and the true contractions begin, they only increase in frequency and intensity. There's no turning back. There's no slowing it down. There's only one thing left after that: the birth. And here's where the conspiracy turns confirmed. HAARP has long been known to manipulate the ionosphere with high-frequency waves. Some researchers believe it can trigger earthquakes by resonating with natural fault lines. Others suspect it can alter pressure zones to pull moisture up from below, not just down from above. Are some of these floods engineered? Are the birth pains being accelerated? Is someone trying to play God with God's judgment? We are told in Revelation that the abyss will be opened, that strange demonic forces will be released from below the earth. Could these underground water events be echoes of that opening? Could it be that what happened in Genesis 7 is happening again? In the days of Noah, the world was flooded by judgment, and violence, corruption, and the mixing of species were everywhere. Now we see genetic engineering, AI merging with flesh, and the waters rising again. It's not just physical, it's prophetic. This isn't just climate change. This isn't just bad weather. This is a shaking. The earth is groaning, the waters are breaking, and the contractions are getting stronger. And the question is, are you in the ark, or are you still pretending the rain is all that's coming? We were warned. We were told the days of Noah would return, and now the deep is breaking open. If this episode shook you, don't just scroll. Pray, prepare, and share. This is From Conspiracy to Confirmed, and this is Heather from the Lake Files. The labor has begun, and the return of the King is near. Subscribe. Share this with someone still asleep. Episode 8 is coming soon.